Right, Shalom Israel with the Israelite School at UPK. Started out at 1 West 125th Street under command of Junior Hunter. Since 1969, we've been bringing out this truth. You know what I'm talking about? To so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American Indians, to the 12 lost tribes of Israel, that we are the biblically ethnic Israelites that the Bible speak of. You understand? We hold down a law class here in Detroit. You understand? Big ups to all the Midwest zones, all the new schools that's opened up, man. Excellent work, Akim. You understand that? That's a beautiful thing to always see us expanding this truth and teaching brothers and sisters around the globe. So big ups to everybody. You understand? They got more work. Like I just said, it's a biblical law class. We go into the Bible and show our people that the laws are not done away with, and it's absolutely imperative that we come back to the law, statutes, and commandments. You understand? It's going to set us apart and bring us back to a holy nation that the Most High intended for us to be. You know what I'm talking about? I just want to highlight a few upcoming events that we have going on. Big ups to Captain Gadar out there in California. You understand? They about to you understand, have that black and brown cookout. You understand? Unite or Die, a heavy movement out there on the West Coast. You understand? The brothers out there gonna do a lecture at the Wagga Bar in Kazakh Yard. I believe that the name of that lecture is gonna be Divide and Conquer. They're gonna have, of course, all the generals gonna be out there. You understand? Dropping the truth. General Mahimi gonna do it all the time. You know what I'm saying? As he always does, scripture breakdown and break the Bible down for anybody that want to come against it, and also to teach the brothers the nation of Israel. So once again, that's going to be a weekend full of fire. You understand? A power-packed weekend. If you're out there in that zone, you don't want to miss that. And also, they're going to be getting on the Feast of Dedication. You understand? September 28th. If you're not in that area, you still want to keep that feast there. You understand? Get to a local school that's near you and participate in the Lord's High Holy Day as He commanded the children of Israel to do. You understand? That being said, we're gonna focus in on the laws, of course. You know what I mean? There's a lot going on with celebrities. You understand? And coming out, and that should be a sign to let you know that what Commander Junior Hunter and the UPK have been bringing out since 1969 is absolutely the truth. You understand? In the last days, these people that we looked up to, you know what I'm saying, before the truth, they're coming out and letting you know how off they are as far as their spirit. I want to use a certain word, but I've been told that we don't want to use that word because they shut. We coming with so much fire, they shut our pages down. So if you have a sickness, if you learn the behavior to want and be attracted to an opposite sex, you understand, that is a sickness. It's against the Most High. It's an abomination according to the Lord, and we're going to address it today here in the law class. You understand? And we're going to show you where it originated from, where you learned that from. Believe it or not, you learn that behavior since a child, if that's what you follow. You understand? The topic homosexuality. You understand? False prophets. We're going to dive into all of it. We got a few articles on deck. You understand? I'm Priest and Officer Shawat. We're going to hold this law class down, and you understand, Lord willing, we give you some powerful information that can help you come into this truth and get off that fence, man. If you're in the Christian church and you're watching, the Lord is trying to show you before you get wicked judgment. You know what I'm saying? Poured down on hell, poured down on you, man. You're already in hell, but if you keep playing with the Most High, He's going to do something that you don't want Him to do to you. All right. So with that being said, once again, laws, statutes, and commandments. That's what we focus on Wednesday. To prove that the law is not done away with, and without the law, we are a lawless society, much like in 2019 in every ghetto across America. We are a lawless people, you understand, that hate each other, and without this structure that the Most High laid down for us, we were prophesied to be destroyed, trodden down, you know what I'm saying, under all the other nations, and we wonder why all the other nations look at us the way that we do, because you don't have no morality. You understand? You don't know what integrity means. Until you come into the UPK and the Commander Junior Hunter, you ain't going to never know what it means. Why? Because the white man have showed you, Salakia, though your oppressor have showed you a different way. He's taught you how to be, disoperational as far as the nation goes, man. He told you how to sin against the Most High. And what is sin according to the Bible? A transgression of the law. You understand? So if you're not focusing in on these laws, you're not in the truth. You understand that one of the laws was to love thy brother as thyself and gather yourselves together, O nation not desired. If you ain't in the UPK, you're not doing it. You causing confusion. You understand what I'm saying? You're leading this, the sheep, you scattering the Lord's flock. You understand that we're going to touch down on all of that. So for starters, this being the law class, we're going to get the definition of law. All right? Because a lot of times brothers and sisters here is pushing the truth, but they don't know how important that word is and what it sets up and what it establishes amongst the children of Israel. You understand? Like when we mob out together, wherever we go, people see us and they know that we're not regular. You know why? Because we holding ourselves in a high moral position as far as amongst each other. You understand? We're holy. We setting ourselves high and it's a high standard to be an Israelite. It's more than just rocking fringes and saying shalom and Yahweh Shema Alatah. It's more than that. You understand? You got to do an action. That's the difference right there. You know what I'm saying? The fringes look glorious, don't get me wrong. But the Most High is requiring more than that. You understand? You have to do it. You have to do what the book says to do. And if you don't do it, you're like a Christian. You understand? You're a hypocrite. Right? So we're going to talk about all that tonight, man. So like I said, we're going to define the word law for starters. Especially for people, you know what I'm saying, the trollers, that's the Christians that troll our page. You understand? Anybody not in the UPK that looks at our page and look at what we teach, we're gonna break it down from for you know what I mean, for the simplest term. That's my goal, to show you that the law couldn't be done away. We right now we're gonna define the word law. Law. This is the Webster's Merriam-Webster's dictionary. It's a binding custom or practice of a community. What is the community? The body of Christ. You understand? And according to Ephesians 4:4, it's only one community that can be under Christ. It can't be multiple sections under Christ. That right there should let you know it's only somebody got to be wrong. And guess who's not wrong? The men under UPK that's been following Commander Jimmy Hanna. You understand? And that brother never changed the doctrine. He never lost his integrity as far as following the men that raised him up. And that's our responsibility as priests and officers under that man. You understand? To keep it going. Right? Let me start from a binding custom. Meaning, with this custom right here, everybody is one body. It's a binding custom, right? Or practice of a community, one body, a rule or conduct, action prescribed. You understand? It's a rule, and it's just more than rocking the fringes or rocking these glorious headpieces, man. Big up to all the men that do glorious work in the garment department, man. It's more than that. It's action required. You got to do the work. You understand? Faith without work is dead, right? So if you're in this truth, you have to do multiple actions to show that you love the Most High. Otherwise, your love is going somewhere else. It ain't going to the Most High, all right? 1A, or formally recognized as binding or enforced by a controlling authority. The whole body of such custom, practices, or rules. You know what I mean? So everybody that's in this one body, you understand, that has the same practice, same customs, believe in the same thing, we're following the same rules. That's what the laws are, rules, which create structure, all right? Let me move on to the next definition that goes right where we bring it up before I open the class up. You know what I'm saying? Statues. I might want to get that in. Design Advanced Compact, no sweat. So the laws, statutes, and commandments, they all go together. We're going to prove it right here. Basically, that's the law being established by man. You understand? So Moses, you think about Moses, he enforced the laws. You see what I'm saying? So it's on deck now. So the people know. And if you don't do these things, you're going to get punished. If you do them, you know what I'm saying, you're going to be blessed. You can find that in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. All right. Let's see. Okay, yeah, we had Deuteronomy 12 and 1. Let's get that scripture real quick, no sweat. Deuteronomy 12 and 1. So laws are the rules. You understand that one community follows. Who is that community? The children of Israel, the 12 tribes. That was the only nation in the earth that got the rules. You understand, the laws. So let's start at Deuteronomy 12 and 1. All right. These are the statutes and judgments which ye shall observe to do in the land, which the Lord thy God, the fathers, giveth thee to possess it all the days that ye live upon the earth. You understand? So the laws, statutes are instructions on how to live in this earth, man, prescribed by the Most High. That's why the law class is so imperative, man, because if you're not following the laws, you're not in the truth. You understand? You're not in there. Let's look up the definition of commandment real quick. We're gonna move right along with tonight's class topic, which is beware of them false prophets. You understand? And then we also gonna focus in on why a lot of our men in the nation, of course, men that's not in the truth. Why are we so cued to fall under homosexuality? You know what I'm saying? Why are we falling for homosexuality? Because you've been led by false prophets that give you sweet words, say things to you that sound good. But with the men in the UPK, we telling you things that's going to fix you. Just like if you take some medicine, it don't taste good going down, but at the end of the day, that medicine is going to fix you. Otherwise, you're going to remain sick. You see what I'm saying? A definition of commandment, a divine rule, especially one of the 10 commandments. You understand? That's what a commandment is, something that you must do. It's an order from the Most High. So the laws, statutes, and commandments is your gateway to the kingdom of heaven. Otherwise, if you're trying to deviate around these commandments and have it your way like Burger King, when them chariots touch down, you're gonna be burnt up on this place right here. You understand, with the heathen. So you cannot deviate away from the law, statutes, and commandments. It's something you must do. Even the dietary laws. You know what I'm saying? We talk to Christians about that all the time. And when they say it, oh, that was in the Old Testament. We don't have to keep that law. You understand? The Old Testament is done away with. When we have scriptures to prove to you, I'm paraphrasing, Paul said it himself, the things that were written aforetime were for our learning. You understand? Where do you think Christ learned from? The rules in the Old Testament. You see what I'm saying? They're rules that the Israelites must follow. If you don't follow them, you're going to be cursed, man. You're going to be in a hellified condition. You get my point? So we going to jump straight into it, man. The first scripture we're going to bring out concerning, and the reason why I'm touching down on false prophets is because this is one of the primary sources where we learned the behavior, you understand, that derives from homosexuality. You see what I'm saying? In the Roman Catholic Church, they're on the news all the time for what? Pedophilia. You understand? Child molestation. You understand? And the average person that's a homosexual, they've been molested. 9 out of 10 of them. You understand, that have that learned behavior, that have that sexual deviance, they've been a victim to child molestation. And with the ISUPK and the Commander in Hana, we always address that, man. Why? Because it's a major plague, it's a major crime that's happening in our community. And that's not done by coincidence. That is done strategically to keep us on the bottom. You understand that? The scriptures say if you in order to get him in a man's house, you have to first bind that man, take the man out the house. Then you leave that duty to a woman. She's put the feminine spirit on this little boy. When he gets a grown man, how's he gonna walk around in the earth with an effeminate spirit? You can't inherit the kingdom of heaven with an effeminate spirit. And we're gonna get into the definitions of all these commonly used words that people run right over and don't even understand the definition of it. You get my point? So Yeah, we're gonna jump right into it. 2 Timothy chapter 4. You understand? We're gonna get right into why a lot of brothers leave the truth, and we're gonna get into why that evil spirit, you understand, that disgusting spirit of homosexuality is running rampant in our community, man. You understand? It's your leaders, your Christian leaders, man. Your leaders have led you astray to believe something else that does not exist in the Bible. You understand? And for one, it's an abomination, something that the Lord hates. And it's the reason why we stay in the same predicament over and over again, because we don't want to take responsibility. You understand? Personal responsibility for what we've been doing. And you come to this truth, you gonna see real quick. Like the men that we've been following, you understand? I don't care if it's an entertainment or your Christian pastor, these men are wicked and they're false prophets, man. You understand? That's why you wicked. John 8:44, ye are of your father the devil. Because you've been following a man that's deceived you with lies. That's what the word devil means. You get my point? So let's get into these scriptures, man. You understand? We're going to start with 2 Timothy, the 4th chapter, verse 3. All right? Get this real quick. Give y'all a minute to get it with me. 2 Timothy, the 4th chapter, verse 3. All right? Okay, we have 2 Timothy 4 and 3. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine. It's going to be a time in the earth that, who is they talking about? The children of Israel. You understand? From Genesis to Revelation, only who this Bible prescribes to. You understand? If a so-called Caucasian man or Chinese man or a Hamite of any other nation outside these 12 tribes, if you got this Bible, you don't have no business with the Bible, man. This Bible is not your book. All right? Let's read it again. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine. What is the sound doctrine talking about? The truth. The truth in the Bible, man. You understand? I don't care if it sounds good or bad or sweet or soft. The truth in this Bible is what you must do. Otherwise, you're going to be punished by the Most High, man. You're going to have a judgment that you don't want to endure, man. You understand? So you have to endure sound doctrine. I don't care how it get bad in this, how bad it gets in this captivity. You have to endure sound doctrine, all right? And endure that sounds that sounds familiar, right? Because the scripture also say endure to the end, meaning you can't leave the doctrine that you learned. 1 Weds 1969. You got to endure sound doctrine, the truth. You see what I'm saying? Let's get some more. But after their own lust. You understand what is lust? Lust is it's an intense desire, meaning you can't control your flesh. It's something that's intense, that's just on you, a demon. You understand? Something that's intense that's going to benefit your flesh. That's what lust is, man. All right. And a lot of men leave the truth because they have intense lust, you know what I'm saying, intense desire to feed their own belly, to feed their own agenda. And then you look up, you have a lot of confusion in the nation of Israel because men can't control their flesh. You understand? And that's number one that you learn when you come to this school. You got to learn how to control your flesh, man. Meaning what? You got to be disciplined. You understand? Don't be emotional. You understand? When this thing come in your head and say, man, damn, you know, anything that could pop in your mind that's wicked and off, you got to endure that out. You got to ignore that and understand that this is the only body of Christ. And if you leave here, you're not enduring sound doctrine, because what is one of the number one rules we learn in ISUBK? Brotherhood is a weapon. So because you feeling some type of way, you're gonna leave the truth to do what? Feeds your intense desire, man, your lust. We were taught to fight those demons up in here, man. You understand that? Let's get some more. But after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers and having itching ears. What is the itching ears? You know what I'm saying? I'm in, you know, the majority of the nation is in class with General Muhammad every week. And if you pay attention, you have Israelites that's not in the UPK that, you know what I'm saying, acknowledge that they are Israelites by blood according to the Bible, but they not in this body. But you call them to school for breakdowns. Why? Because they have itching ears. They want to. You hear them say this: we watch a little bit of everybody. We watch y'all. We watch these cats. You know why? Because you have an itching ear. Whatever sound good to you and whatever don't sound good to you, you're gonna throw that out and put something else that sound good that's coming from somewhere else. You got an itching ear, man. You understand? Your Christian pastor, he's lying on the Bible because whatever sounds good to his ear, he's going to push. Because why? He has an intense desire. He wants to feed his lust. He wants to feed his own belly. He wants to fulfill his sexual whatever. You know what I'm saying? Whenever he feels sexually enticed, you understand? I don't even want to use entice, man, because you entice a woman to become your wife, man. I don't even want to use that word, but whenever your ride get hard, you're fleshly, you're going to do whatever it takes, man, to fulfill your intense desire, which is lust. You see what I'm saying? So you have to beware of these type of men that's willing to do that, to compromise the truth of the Bible. You understand? And who did not compromise the truth of the Bible? Who stood strong and held his sword? You know what I'm saying? And held this truth together since the 80s, Commanding Junior Honda. You understand? And he's hated for it, man. It's ridiculous. But we're gonna pull the scriptures to show you, man. You have to beware of false prophets. Because why? They're gonna lead you off to doing things that's not in here. They're gonna lead you off to sinning, breaking the Lord's law. You understand? And at the end of the day, you're gonna remain destroyed, right? Let's move on. But after their own lusts, let me start from verse 3 again. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers. Meaning, I learned this a little bit. I'm going to go leave and become my own teacher. I don't got to follow them, man. I can read the Bible for myself. When you off, you understand, as far as the Spirit of the Lord goes. Who was the disciples following? They was following the man. Who was following Peter? A man. Who was following Paul? Another man. So that right there, if you got that spirit, that shows me that y'all, if you're not in the UPK, you just don't know the Bible. All right? And they're going to have itching ears, verse 4. And they shall turn away their ears from the truth. That's what these men have did. You understand? The Christian pastor, he has never had the truth. But he up there, you understand, on the surface looking like he got the truth. He's in sheep clothes, but he really a wolf. And what does a wolf do? They feed their own belly, feed their lust. We're going to get to it. You understand? They will turn their ears away from hearing the Salakia. They will hear, and they shall turn away their ears from the truth and shall be turned into fables. You understand? But watch thou in all things, endure afflictions. You understand? You're going to have, when you come into this truth, you're going to have afflictions. You understand? You're going to take losses. You're going to be tested by the Most High. Please believe it, man. It never failed. In my short 3 years in this truth, I've seen it, the same pattern happen with brothers and sisters. You're going to be tested. You see what I'm saying? You're going to go through affliction. Just because you come into the truth, you understand that you acknowledge that you're an Israelite and you start to follow these laws, you got to remember now, you're in hell. You're in captivity, so you have to be built up spiritually to weather that storm. That's why it's important to stay in class every week and always seek counsel, man. Never try to fight these demons, you understand, by yourself. Especially when you come brand new in the school. It's not going to work out for you. You understand that Satan is coming for you once you come up in here. All right? Let me finish this scripture. I'm at verse 5. But thou, which in all things endure afflictions, do the work of an evangelist and make full proof of thy ministry. What is the full proof? You understand? Brothers opening up new zones. Brothers opening up schools. You understand? These classes. You see the young men rocking the classes out. It's a beautiful thing, man. I see new faces all the time on Facebook. You understand? Rocking the classes out because why? They doing the work. You see what I'm saying? Like the scriptures say to do. Right? They making full proof of thy ministry. You understand? Building camp equipment. And don't look at that job as a pointless job. That's a heavy job in this school, man. Because why? If the young men don't come in here and build camp equipment, the priest can't get up there on the podium and deliver the message that the Most High ordered us to do. You see what I'm saying? Like building camp equipment, brothers on Shamar. You understand, brothers? You understand? Making glorious garments, sisters supporting men in this truth, man. You understand? It's a beautiful thing when you see brothers and sisters come together like that, man, and build a nation. That's the whole point, man. You understand? And to do that, you got to endure sound doctrine, the truth. 1 West 1969, man. Otherwise, you're going to be a hypocrite, and you're going to just have tambourines. And, eating shrimp, crab, pork, lobster, doing anything a disgusting Christian would do. And before you know it, you're going to be up there talking about the law done away with. You only can have one wife. You understand? You can do this to look like before you know it, if you're not careful and endure to sound doctrine, trust me, you're going to be doing that thing, that disgusting thing, that dishonorable thing, man. Like Captain Tyler Ward said, he made that song, which is a glorious song, a couple years ago. He said he won West to the death. You understand? I feel that in my blood. How could I go anywhere else, man? This is all, I got to do this. You understand? And the brothers, who feel like that, you understand where I'm coming from, all right? We're going to drop that. We're going to 1 Timothy 4:1, all right? Get a little bit more on, the confusion in Israel, and also men that say they men of the Lord, but really they just out to feed their personal lust, man. And because we're in the last days, that's an eye that you have to have out in this earth, man, in 2019, because a lot of fault, believe it or not, it's a lot of fault. All you got to do is click on YouTube Israelites, and you're going to see everybody that looked at a couple of our videos out there with a sign, you understand, and a loudspeaker. And because they don't have the training that we have, you see the police putting them in jail. You understand? You'll see a civilian running up on them, knocking them out. Why? Because they had itching ears and they wanted to feed their personal lust. Instead of humbling yourself, coming into this body and learning all over, man. You understand? And being a brother. You understand? If you don't want to stand with the Israelite School of UPK, you're going against Zephaniah 2:1. You understand? Because wherever you learn this truth from, at the end of the day, it came out of 1 West, man. Y'all know this, right? I ain't gonna spend too much time focused on that, but it's part of this. I gotta say it because it's part of this breakdown, all right? Let's get 1 Timothy 4:1. 4:1. Let's see. Oh yeah. This is heavy right here. I'm at 1 Timothy 4:1. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times. You understand, the latter times is talking about what? Latter times. It's talking about hard times. You understand? Hard times that's going to afflict you. You understand? Living in the last days. All the hell that we have to go through. The latter times. Right? Some shall depart from the faith. You understand? Some brothers and sisters gonna come in this school and say, you know what, it's just a little bit too hardcore. Or my family say I'm in a cult, so I'm about to go back into the Christian church. Let me explain something to you people. The brothers and sisters that's not in the UPK. The biggest cult in the earth is the Roman Catholic Church. Alright? That is the cult right there. Because you've been so brainwashed, you can never see it that way. You understand? Roman Catholicism that got you believing that Christ is white. You understand that Christmas and celebrating reindeer is flying in the sky. You believe that's a righteous thing when it is against the Bible. You understand? We go in there and show you and you still don't believe it. Why? Because you got the real mark of the beast in your forehead. You understand? Because your spirit, you didn't have no choice. Your parents raised you up to subscribe to the abominations that America has pushed on the 12 tribes of Israel. And because of that, look at our condition as a nation. I don't care. We can go to Bahamas. Look at the condition of Bahamas right now. You understand? They got rescued by the oppressor, and in the middle of the damn boat ride, they said, "Man, if you don't have no visa, you got to get off this boat." You understand? In the midst of hell and destruction, they know where to go. That's how you know, man. This man don't have no compassion for you. He's not. That's in his spirit to have that in him. You know what I'm saying, towards you. All right. And guess what? The Roman Catholic Church, aka the Christian Church, is built on the spirit that the oppressor got in him. That's why black people hate each other. You understand? That's why they got that evil eye towards each other, because you just decided to follow a man that hates you, man. And he's lied to you and got you sinning against the power of Israel, and you don't even know it. And we come out here and tell you, you understand, you call us a hate group, you call us the cult, but we quote the Bible. All you got to do is look it up. You see, you get my point? Let's start back at the 4th chapter. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter time some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits. You understand? What is a seducing spirit? Oh man, you following them brothers, man, that's a cult. They crazy, man, you need to get up out of there. Or it could be a woman talking to a sister that's in the school. Oh, they got multiple wives, you crazy, sis, what's wrong with you? Get out of there. Them brothers ain't got no money. That's a seducing spirit. Guess what? That's a demon. That's what Satan wants you to do. That's his job. You understand? And you see it all the time, man. If you're not spiritually strong to walk this walk and follow what's in the Bible, you're gonna fall out to some false prophet or false doctrine. All right. And it's very important that I'm bringing this out, because if you wasn't under the doctrine of the truth, you wouldn't fall for homosexuality. You wouldn't be butthurt when you see a man that you looked up to as an entertainer, he coming out and say, you know what, I like trans women. Come on, man. And you know that show New York Undercover was a prominent series. You know what I'm saying? A documentary. I don't want to say it's a documentary, but I ain't watched TV in so long. TV series. You get my point? That black people grew up on. Why? Because like anything, your oppressor is going to set up platforms for you to teach you a certain behavior, and before you know it, you say your kids looking at this platform. The Breakfast Club, they had the brother on the show. Charlamagne the God and DJ Envy, who all our people love. They on there saying, oh yeah, we need to get the education on men loving trans women. Are you serious, man? Do you know our children is watching this garbage on a major platform? They got millions and millions of subscribers, million viewers every day, and they on there pushing homosexuality to the T. You understand? Love and Hip Hop pushes it, man. This place right here called America is Sodom and Gomorrah again. You understand? And all I gotta ask you, if you know some of the Bible, what happened to Sodom and Gomorrah? It got burnt down, man. You understand? And that's why in Revelation say this place right here is spiritually Sodom and Gomorrah. A prophecy that is going to come to pass. The prophet is trying to warn you before this place gets burnt up by the Most High. See my point? Let's focus back in on this scripture. Giving heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. You understand the word devil means liar and deceiver. Somebody that's telling you, oh yeah, we're all equal. If you're a woman, you can marry a woman. Who told you that on the earth? Back in 2008 through 2016, you had a man in the earth called Barack Obama. He came out and black people was fuckboy. I mean, Farrakhan said he's the black Jesus. This is the Jesus right here, black Jesus right here, a Hamite, and he come and tell you, you know what, you can marry a man, can marry a man, a woman can marry a woman. Another false prophet, you understand, that followed Michael King. You get my point? If we didn't have the structure and leadership in the ISUPK, could you imagine the condition? Like we would be that much worse off without this truth, man. That's why we can't let this truth die. You understand? We're gonna endure and fight to the end. And when I say fight, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal. So I cannot fight my oppressor with guns and terror attacks and all that, but I can fight it spiritually and tell my people, you understand, homosexuality is a sexual deviance, it's disgusting, and it's one of the number one reasons why we are destroyed as a community, because we sinned against our power, the power of Israel, all right? And if you're out there teaching that come like you are, and homosexual is okay, it's a doctrine of the devil, and you're deceiving the Lord's people. Verse 2, speaking lies and hypocrisy. You see that? Having their conscience seared with a hot iron, forbidding to marry. So it's some cats out here that acknowledge themselves as Israelites, but guess what? They forbid you to marry another woman. You understand? When that is lawful according to the Bible, where there's no transgression, there's no sin. You get my point? Jacob had 4 wives, so if you against multiple wives, you against the Bible, because the Most High God said it was right. All right? And these false prophets, they forbidden you to marry. You understand why? Because they follow Roman Catholicism. And big ups to General Muhammad, he broke it down and showed you on video the similarities of these brothers that say they're in the truth and they're not. They're Christians, man. You understand? So beware of false prophets, especially in 2019. Excuse me. All right. All right, we're going to Colossians 2 and 8. You know what I'm saying? See with the brother Paul, how Paul was, on the scene cutting Christians and letting people of Israel know, man, you got to beware of these brothers and these prophets of Israel that's going to try to come and give you a sweet doctrine that sounds good, man. You understand? The doctrine that was created by men, but it's not in the Bible. You understand? How can you forbid a man to marry another woman? That ain't in there. You understand? It's not in there. You know why you pushing that? Because you feeding your own lust. You understand? Your intense desire for whatever you got wicked inside of you, you want to feed that. You see what I'm saying? Story after story coming about these false prophets. I don't even have to say that now. Y'all know what we talking about, man. Story after story. Why? Because the Most High ain't with you. Why is He not with you? Because you left the truth. You didn't endure the sound doctrine. You get my point? We jumping right to Colossians 2 and 8. No sweat. Colossians 2 and 8. Beware lest any man spoil you. You understand? First, the scripture is saying, beware of a man in the earth that can do this. To spoil you. Spoil you means to ruin you. You understand? Say if you're on a good track and here comes a seducing spirit, you understand, that ruins your whole pursuit on getting the kingdom of heaven. You understand? Leave them brothers, man. That's a cult. You understand that? They saying kind on one kind. You understand? They doing the ancient Hebrew. They gonna do everything in their power because why? It's a false prophet. We got the scriptures to prove it. Everything we do come out the Bible. So if you're going against what we say, in reality, realistically, you're going against God. You understand? If you see us doing it, know it come out the Bible. You understand? Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy. What is the philosophy? Something that a man teach from his own understanding. You understand? We're not teaching what we feel. You get my point? We're teaching that's what's coming, the Spirit of the Lord coming straight out the Holy Bible. But contrary to popular belief, it's men in the earth that's teaching on their own agenda, that's putting their own doctrine and on understanding on our holy scrolls, and they don't know how much division and wickedness that they're doing, man. Why men of the Lord are really raising up a nation. You get my point? We have to be aware of these men. You understand? And we blaze the Christian church so hard. The Christian church is about to be extinct in this earth. You understand? We blaze. That's our main goal, is to blaze the Christian church. When I say blaze, man, prophesy against them with our words, with the Spirit of the Lord. You understand? For somebody that's simple, that's saying, "Oh, he teaching, they gonna burn down the church." No, we're not gonna do that. We're disciplined men. You understand? When I say blaze, we're gonna prophesy with the Spirit of the Lord against your lies. That's what I mean. You understand? We're law-abiding citizens, men with discipline. Don't worry, we're not going to burn down your church. But on the other hand, the Most High, he might send a lightning bolt through that joint. You get my point? All right. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. What does the word vain mean? It's something that holds no value. It means nothing. Deceit is a lie. Something to say something to lie. You know what I'm saying? How you deceive, thinking you one thing and really you going all the way off. You see what I'm saying? Paul said, beware these men that come with these, you understand, made man doctrines and creating doctrines that are based off how they feel to you know what I'm saying, go with their personal agenda. You understand? Paul said, beware these men, because they're going to be in the earth. While you doing the work of the Lord, these men are going to be sitting on the side like, okay, yeah, the UPK, how can we get their video shut down? How can we get some of their members to come over here? You understand? And somebody that got that spirit on them, man, you full of Satan, man. And you understand? And you full of the spirit that's in the so-called oppressor. You get my point? Because at the end of the day, he don't want you to come together. He don't want you to gather together. He wants you to fight and kill each other, man. You understand? I get up, I'm Salaki off top, I got a sidebar. I get up this morning to go to my slavery. I turn on the news. Brothers fighting inside the Coney Island, which is a restaurant, people that's not from the Midwest. Coney Island is like a burger grill type of joint where they cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner 24/7 around the clock. It's like a grill, but they don't sell alcohol, right? I get up, go to my slave, turn on the news, 2 men fighting in Coney Island. The fight goes outside. You know the brother hated the brother so bad, he ran over the brother, man, killed him. Understand? And the white man see that, be like, yeah, we doing our job. You know, keep making this rap music. You understand? You got to have discipline. Is rap music unlawful? Absolutely not. But when you start doing what they say to do in the records, that's when you become unlawful. You understand? That's why it's important to come in this truth. You know what I mean? The brothers hate each other so much. After you fight the brother, you gonna run over him? I mean, come on, man. It's ridiculous, man. That's why the men in the UPK, we have a hell of a lot of work on our soldiers, all right? Beware lest any, my man, Colossians 2:8, beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the traditions of men. The traditions, these traditions didn't come from the Most High. They came from their own lust on what they wanted to do. Traditions of men, Christmas, Halloween, you understand, Valentine's Day. All these things that we learned and been brand programmed to do in America, they are traditions of men. Paul saying, beware of this thing, all right? The rudiments, the things of the world, and not after Yahushua. You understand? So we have to be aware of men that, you understand, tell you that the law is done away with. You understand? Even the Big Ten is done away with, right? Come as you are. All that garbage. You have to be able to depict, otherwise you will fall victim, you understand, to Satan's work in America. All right? We're going to get Matthew 7:15. Get Matthew 7:15 real quick. No sweat. And on the surface, a lot of brothers, just because you know you're an Israelite, that does not mean you're going to inherit the kingdom of heaven. That's why the law class is so important, because we showing you things that you can do, things that you can't do. You know what I mean? You cannot hate your brother. That's number one. We can't do that. If you're in the truth and you know have a ought with a brother, we've been taught, if I have an ought with one of my brothers, I'm gonna go to him and him alone. Hey, listen, bro, when you did this right here, I was offended. You understand? You my man. You know, we've been out plenty of times, traveled through state lines together, but when you did this one particular thing right here, you offended me. You understand? That's what Christ, the blueprint that Christ laid down. Go to him and him alone. You see what I'm saying? If black men can do that right there, instead of going to get a gun, you understand? And if you can see that another black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian man is not the enemy, you get that through your simple mind, you know how much progress we will make, man, throughout the four corners of the earth, throughout all the ghettos. You're not allowed to shoot no brother, man, because you and your emotions, because you're so emotional. You get my point? You're not allowed to talk behind the brother back. You got to all let him, go to him and him alone. You understand? And if he does not hear you, what do? You go to in front of 2 or 3 more brothers, which is a council. We're going to handle our own problems, man. We're going to govern ourselves, man. That's the kingdom of heaven right there. If you're going outside of that thing right there, you support the so-called oppression, man. And you hate black people. You understand? That's why it's so important to get these young soldiers in here early. Raise them up at 7, 8 years old. You understand? That's called nation building. You get my point? And guess what? Our instructions coming from the Most High in Christ. We're not leaning on our own. The things that we tell brothers and sisters to do, it's not traditions of men. You get my point? These things are not coming from men that have personal lust. You understand? Intense desires to do what the hell they want to do. Nah, that ain't happening up here in the UPK, man. We have righteous leadership, man. And can you believe this wicked kingdom is so wicked? People hate us for it. Man, come on, they hate us for it. Telling black people, man, stop smoking the weed, man. It's killing you. It's making your brain dumb. You understand? It's slowing you down. It's slowing your brain down. I'm showing you love here. You understand? The white man come and see us saying that to our brothers and sisters. Oh, y'all a hate group. What? Nah, you just such of a beast. You can never have compassion on the people, so you can never see what we're doing out here. You understand? You're such of a greedy monster. You don't want these people, the nation that's not desired, you don't want them to get there. I want to say this word, but I'm working on my, you know what I'm saying, my professionalism. You don't want them to get their stuff together. You see what I'm saying? You want them to continue to be under you. You understand? You want them to continue to be slaves. So this kingdom, this wicked kingdom, you understand, that's against everything that's written in this Bible, your kingdom can be more and more glorious, man. And we got scriptures, we're going to highlight it tonight. You understand? I don't give a damn who likes it or not. This is my job as a priest and officer of Commander General Honda, man. And we're going to do it to the end. All right? So let's get Matthew 7 and 15. Let's get it. Matthew 7 and 15. This Christ, this Yahushua, who the world ignorantly knows as Jesus Christ. This is him talking out his own mouth. You understand? Matthew 7 and 15. Beware of false prophets. What is a false prophet? Something that's you prophesied in the Lord's name, you understand, but you're not following what he's telling you to do. You're a false prophet. You understand? You're out there prophesying to the people, but really you got a spirit in you that wants to feed your own lust. You don't give a damn about the people. You want to do your own thing. You can't do that when you're pushing the truth out the Bible. We're gonna show you right here. Which come to you in sheep's clothing. You understand? The men, they talk too rough. They keep calling the oppressor the devil. But if you had any knowledge, you would know it's a nation in the earth that has deceived the whole world. I want to say the whole earth. You understand? Because we know in this school is many worlds out there, right? But it's the people in the earth that are deceivers every day. That's all they do. You understand? Lie on the Bible. That's a false prophet right there. You understand? Your Christian pastor that commends homosexuality, says it's okay. Oh, they born like that. No, they not. That's a learned behavior, man. That's something that's learned. Everybody not born to like another man. That's sexual deviance. That's something that's been taught to them. And who taught it to them? Your oppressor. Your Uncle Tom Negroes in the Christian church. That's who taught it to them. We're gonna bring it out today. Don't sweat. You understand? You beware of the false prophets. I'm in Matthew 7 and 15. Beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing. Come to you in them shiny suits and them abominable shoes. If you wear gator shoes, according to the Bible, that's a sin. All right? You cannot wear gator shoes. You understand? Get in class and you'll learn something. Come to you in a shiny suit, sheep's clothing, but what's inwardly about these people right here that say they come in sheep clothing with soft words, just like your oppressor did. You understand? His words were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. And because your leaders followed him, they're going to come at you the same way, man. False prophets. All right? But inwardly, they are ravening wolves. And what do wolves do? They feed their belly, man. That's what they do. They feed their belly, feed their intense lust, desires, which is lust. Get my point? Let's keep reading. Let's read 16. No sweat. You should know them by their fruits. What are the fruits of the Israelite school of UPK, man? We pulling brothers off drugs. You understand? We housing brothers. We fixing families, fixing black households. You understand? Organizing food drives, doing the same thing that Christ was doing under Commander Jenny Hanna. That's what we're doing. Look at our works. You understand? And I'm not boasting because I know at the end of the day, the Most High and Christ, Yahushua, Yahweh Shah, they deserve all the credit. But you have to look at the fruits that these mighty men under Commander Jenny Hanna is doing in the earth right now in 2019, man. Look at the fruits. We don't produce homosexuals. We don't produce drug addicts. We don't produce drug dealers, liars. You know what Commander Jenny Hanna produce? Lions that have integrity, man. They understand that has a sense of morality. That's what we're producing over here. And you can see it in the fruits of our work. Though we look gruesome, you understand? Because why? We're following the spirit of Yahweh Shah and Salaki, the Most High in Christ. And the Most High, Exodus 15:3 say he's a man of war. So we're not coming in sheep clothing. We coming with that austere spirit that Christ had, man. You get my point? Let's get some more. Do men gather grapes of thrones or figs of thistles? You understand? We're going to drop that. We're going to drop that verse. But yeah, Christ saying, beware the false prophets that present themselves in sheep clothes with soft words. You understand? Beware of a man that's telling you good things. And we don't always say the things sound pleasant to your ear that you want to hear. You understand? We're going to tell you the hard, unadulterated truth according to this Bible, whether you like it or not. Why? Because Christ told us to do that thing. And doing that, we're going to produce men, strong men, that's able and have the ability to lead a nation. You understand? If Commander Gianna in the Israelite school of UPK is telling everybody soft words and things that make them feel good, how can we build a nation, man? How can we go get our people if we come with a soft spirit? And furthermore, being effeminate, you cannot inherit the kingdom of heaven. You understand? A woman like somebody that's soft. I see a lot of these Bible study groups, they look real soft out there. They out there getting punched in the face. You know what I mean? The brothers out there, you letting your mans get punched in the face. Why? Because you don't have the spirit. This Lord ain't with you. You see what I'm saying? It's a process to become an ordained priest. Man, first of all, you got to be chosen to do the work. If you ain't chosen and you go out there and try to do it, you'll see. It won't work out for you so well out there. All right. Let's move on to Mark 7:7. Mark 7:7, real quick. No sweat. I got a plethora of scriptures for false prophets. You understand? Because it's important that our people know, man. We have to have, especially if you're not in this school and you watching what the UPK teach. It's a lot of information out there that you might end up falling into a wrong, you understand, a wrong work, a body of work that's not of the Lord. You understand? You might start following somebody that has sheep clothing, that look all, you understand, inviting and holier than thou, but really it's a wolf in them clothes that look good. You understand? You got to look at the body of work that these brothers producing, man, in the UPK, and look at these other, I don't know what the, Bible study group. Try to. I don't want to say their name because, if you in the Israelite community, if you following the one body of Christ, you already know. You get my point. No sweat. We have Mark 7:7, man. Continuing on. How bet in vain do they worship me? You understand? So if you saying that you follow Yahweh Shah, how could you worshiping him in vain if you're not keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments? One of the number one laws is to gather ourselves together and have perfect brotherhood. You would know them how they treat one another. You understand? Any event, you would never see the men of Israel and the ISUPK arguing about anything. I don't give a damn if you know brothers or not, man. You're gonna experience a glimpse of the kingdom of heaven, man. You understand? Once again, big up to all them brothers out there on the West Coast, Captain Gadar, all them heavy hitters out there. You understand? They're gonna have a powerful weekend out there, man. Y'all got to get to one of these events so you can see. You'll see the works, like the scripture just said. You understand? Men coming from a hellish condition, now they're in a position of authority. They're leaders for Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian. Why? Because the Spirit of the Lord is in this ISUPK, man. That's why. Right? In vain do they worship me. You understand? Really, You don't worship me, but you on the surface, it look like you understand, could be righteous. That's why Paul said you cannot be a Jew outwardly. It has to be inwardly. It got to be in your inward parts, meaning your brain, your spirit. You get my point? Teaching for doctrines of commandments of men. And that's something that the Christian church is full of, man. They're teaching doctrines of men. What men? The Roman Catholic Church. You understand? All these American holidays go back to either Greek, Roman, some type of Greek or Roman Catholicism, or mythology, excuse me. You know what I'm saying? Even Babylonian, Christmas. That's a Babylonian custom. In the book of Jeremiah, the 10th chapter, you can see that the Lord is against a Christmas tree and putting gifts up under it. It's idol worship. But because the Christian church teach doctrines of men, that's what we've been programmed to do. All right? And in the law class, we're going to show you that we cannot do those things. You understand? And when we read these scriptures to you, when we read these scriptures to a Christian, what is their number one rebuttal? Oh, a man wrote that book. What Bible is that? It's the same Bible you got. The difference is when you read it, you don't. You don't know the Bible. All right? Verse 8, for laying aside the commandments of the Most High, ye hold the tradition of men. Oh, the Old Testament done away with. And because you had that in your silly brain, you following the tradition of men. Let me read that part again. It's very heavy. For laying aside the commandments of God. Saying, you sitting there teaching the law are done away with to the children of Israel, the children of the Most High. And because of that, you're going to have a swift punishment and judgment for it, man. You get my point? You're the reason why black people think that LGBT is okay. That homosexuality is okay when it's not. You get my point? Salaki, please, give me 1 second. We'll take a quick break. No sweat. Right? Verse 8, for laying aside the commandment of God, ye hold the tradition of men, as the washing of pots and cups, and many other such like things ye do. You understand? So that like you holding on the customs of men, instead of holding on the customs of the Most High, what he laid out for us to do. You get my point? Moving right on. The philosophies of men, like once again, holidays, things that Christians do, Palm Sunday and all that garbage, all that stuff descends from Roman Catholicism. And it's one of the major reasons why black, especially the Hispanic tribe, boy, they real heavy and real deep into the Roman Catholic Church. You understand? But we got men like Azak Yah, big up to Austin 5000 out there in Cali. We got a lot of powerful Hispanic brothers in this school that's positioned to lead their brothers, you know what I'm saying, out of the lies, out of the traditions of men. You understand? That's the only way. We got powerful Hispanic brothers in the school. I like to call them Issacharite brothers. You understand? That's their true biblical name. It's Salaki. All right. Let's get Jeremiah 23:1. Let's touch on that real quick. You understand? The Christian church and the leaders of our people have did such of a number on us. I have to bring out all these scriptures. You understand? And to show our people that's not in the school, to show you who you following, man. You understand? To be aware of a man that tell you that God love everybody. You should join your oppressor. We all equal. That is a lie. And because you think everybody is equal, you think a man on man can marry each other. You think just because a man put a wig on, right, that it's okay for you to be attracted to her. You understand? You probably experienced some type of cruel molestation in the Christian church, and because of that, you grew up a grown man, and you grown up in this programming in America, and here we is in 2019. And we got men coming out saying they love, or they you know what I'm saying, they're attracted to another man. I mean, it's just not him. It's any celebrity that you follow. That's why if you want somebody to look at, come to the Israelite School of UPK, giants in this truth, man. You understand, the real heroes in the earth that you should follow, that you should look up to. You understand? For sure, the Most High Christ, all day, every day. Commander General Yohana, you know what I mean? General Muhammad, all these men that have endured to sound doctrine, these are the men that you should look up to, that held on to the truth. If they didn't hold on, I wouldn't have the truth. You get my point? So that kind of man that has that type of integrity, that's who you should look up to. A man that won't sell you out for money, man. You understand what I'm saying? That's the type of man that you should look up to, and you shouldn't be aware of a man that's coming and telling you the truth across the globe, man. They've been doing it since the 80s. These are the men, these men in the UPK, these mighty men, this is who you should look up to. All right? I'm at Jeremiah 23:1. Woe unto the pastors. The word woe means destruction. The Most High is saying, woe unto the Christian pastors that have led my people astray. You see what I'm saying? That led you to believe these false doctrines and these false religions is the right thing to do. You understand? That led your parents to raise you up in this garbage, man. You understand? Islam, another facet of Christianity. Egyptology, it don't exist no more, man. Big up Captain Zazaria, you know what I mean? Captain Kataza. You understand? These mighty men. You understand that endured sound doctrine, that didn't fall short, man, that held on. You understand? This is what we have to follow, all right? And right here, the Most High is saying, woe be unto the pastors. Destruction to the pastors, man. Destruction to the people that destroyed and scattered the sheep. So not only are you destroying the Lord's people, you understand, you scattering the sheep as well. What are you scattering them into? False religions, false doctrines of men that has did nothing but destroyed us. In 2019, look at the condition of black. If you love black, all you have to do is look at the condition of your people, man. If you had any type of sense of morality, you would look and say, what in the hell? Like, it's something that has to be done, man. You have to start to look and examine the things that's happening to our people, man. And it goes to show you what the preachers and prophets is teaching on every corner across this globe is true. And the more we push this truth, the more the Most High is showing you, man, that the idea that you had in your head since you've been in this earth is wrong. You understand? And he's also showing you that he's not with you. Why? Because we're not following the laws, the statutes, and the commandments. We're not following the order of the Most High. We're following men. You understand? And then brothers turn around and say, man, y'all brothers in the ISUPK, y'all follow a man. I mean, come on, man, it's ridiculous. It's nothing but confusion. But what did the Most High say? I'm not the author of confusion. If you got the spirit of confusion, that should be strike one. You shouldn't be following this man if he's causing confusion. You understand? You saying something contrary to what the scriptures say, you're a false prophet. You're a liar. All right? Verse 2, therefore thus saith the Most High of Israel against the pastors. So the Most High that created the heavens and the earth, he's against you Christian pastors, man. He is against the men that decided to create a doctrine based on their own philosophy. You understand? Their own intense desire for whatever reason. The Most High of Israel is against you. You understand? And he said it's swift destruction coming for you. Ask Eddie Long. The Most High put him to death. You understand? The Most High, Martin Luther King. Who you think did that? The Most High did, man. Why? Because he was pushing a doctrine, you understand, based on his own personal lust. You understand that? Also, lied to the children of Israel. You cannot do that, man. You just, it's not going to work out for you, all right? Verse 2. That feed my people, what does the Christian pastor feed us? Lies. What is any man that's not ordained to teach his truth outside the UPK? What are they teaching? Lies. Heresies, man. Confusion. That's what they're teaching. All right. Yea, have scattered my flock and driven them away, and have not visited them. Why hadn't like, what's the example of, why would the Most High say, not only did you destroy them, you scattered the flock, but you haven't visited them. You haven't went to them when they're in hell. You understand? You haven't, gave them shelters. You understand? Joel Osteen down in Houston, during that hurricane, he's another false prophet. When they hit the fan, he locked his church doors. A stadium. You understand? That man is rich off telling lies. And guess what? When the Most High sent that hurricane down there and protected the brothers in the UPK, he closed the doors on you Negroes that's in the Christian church, man. Didn't even let you up in there. Come on, man. We keep going on and on. And these Christian pastors have not visited them. I'm in verse 2. Behold, I will visit upon you the evil of your doing, saith the Most High. So it's a punishment. Like the Most High is a good father. You understand? At the end of the day, if you do something outside these laws, statutes, and commandments, just expect swift punishments. It's going to happen. There's no way around it. If you're in the truth, if you're not in the truth, if you're an Israelite, and you're doing something wicked, you're going to be punished for it, man. You understand? It's going to happen. All right? Let's move right along. We're going to Isaiah 29 and 11. We're going to get there real quick. Kind of speed it up 1 second. Hold on, give me 1 second. Just lock in. Here we in the book of Isaiah, 29th chapter. Let's get it. Starting at verse 11. We'll have to kind of, time got away from me a little bit. Israel, slack you a little bit. No sweat. We'll make it happen. Isaiah 29:11. And the vision of all is become unto you as the words of a book. You understand? So a vision that came in a pastor's mind, you understand, of the book. Let's read on. That is sealed, which men deliver to one that is learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he saith, I cannot, for it is sealed. Why can't he see it? Because his eyes is closed. You understand? That's why the book of the Lord is sealed to you Christians. You can't understand it because you have not been ordained to teach it. You haven't come and learned from men of the Lord. You see, you get my point? But yet you still put your own understanding on the book. You put your own vision on there. Let's read it again. And the vision of all is become unto you as the words of the book of a book that is sealed, which men deliver to one that is learned. So guess what? I'm learned, but guess a man over me delivered it to me. He didn't deliver it to the Christian. He didn't deliver it to a Christian pastor or somebody that's in Islam. You understand? You have to be delivered the word of the Lord from a man that's learned. Commander Yohana has been learned since the 80s. You understand? And he passed that down to men, and those men passed that down. The word of the book has been passed down to us. That's why I'm sitting here teaching it, man. You understand that? Let's get some more. Saying, read this, I pray thee. And he said, I cannot, for it is sealed. Verse 12, and the book is delivered to him that is not learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he said, I am not learned. So basically, if you're not ordained to teach this truth, if you haven't learned it from a man that's learned, you understand this truth, you're not going to be able to teach it. That's why your Christian leaders, leaders of black people, they are unlearned when it comes to the instructions of the Most High. That's why you have to learn it from a man that have been trained, you understand, and ordained to teach the word of the Lord, man. Otherwise, you're going to learn it from a Christian pastor, or, you know what I'm saying, a false prophet. More, I should say that. You understand, nevertheless. Moving right along, let's get Ezekiel chapter 13, verse 1. Ezekiel 13 and 1. It goes right with the topic. No sweat. Ezekiel 13, chapter verse 1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy against the prophets of Israel that prophesy. So when we go out there and prophesy against your Christian church, you understand, you know, it might be some men in Israel that know they're Israelites, but they're not pushing Christ. They're pushing their own, whatever that's inside, you know, they're pushing their own lust. You understand? We're going to prophesy. The Lord said right here, prophesy against the prophets of Israel. You understand? So just because we prophesy against you, that don't mean I hate you. I just got to prophesy against what you pushing. You understand? We get a simple Negro, man, why is there so much division in Israel? For you to ask that question, you know what I ask you? Why you not in here? Why you not behind here with me? Why you not in class? You the one that's promoting division if you ain't in here with us. You understand? That's what we ask them at camp, man. Why is there so much division in Israel? Why you not over here with us? Why you not in class with us? You the one that's about division. You get my point? We'll read verse 2 again. Son of man, prophesy against the prophets of Israel. Just because you're an Israelite don't mean you're righteous. Right? The Lord told me to prophesy against you right here. Right? And say thou unto them that prophesy out of their own hearts. You know what I'm saying? You prophesy out of your own understanding. You know what I'm saying? You think you know more than what a man then taught you? See what I'm saying? They say never depart from sound doctrine. I depart from sound doctrine and create something that's in my own mind. Man, that's such a wicked thing to do. You understand? And then you put yourself in a position of authority, in a role. You understand, like the scripture just said, sheep's clothing. But really, you prophesied out of your own lust, desire, an intense desire that you cannot control. See what I'm saying? Hear ye the word of the Lord. Verse 3. Thus saith the Most High God, woe unto the foolish prophets that follow their own spirit and have seen nothing. Woe to these prophets, to these false prophets. And because so many of our people have fell victim to these false prophets, they fall into all kind of other wickedness, man, that we're gonna address and focus on just a little bit before this class again, man. You understand? That's why it's so important to get into these laws so we can show you it's only one body of Christ. You understand? If you see all these different factions of the truth, everybody can't have the truth, especially if there's been different things taught. So we're going to have to go into scriptures and see, of course, we prove everything we say is coming out the scriptures. See what I'm saying? And we're not saying it to you smooth, man, with soft words. All right? Verse 4, O Israel, thy prophets are like foxes in the deserts, meaning they sneaky, they real fast, they move, they move quick. You understand? That's how they are. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord said, woe to these prophets, man. Foolish prophets. You got to be foolish to lead the truth and create your own understanding and start leading people, man. You foolish for doing that thing. You understand that you're just like the oppressor. You're going to keep the children of Israel destroyed and lost. Why? Because you create confusion in the body of Christ. You don't understand how wicked that is. The Christian pastor, you understand, if you out there teaching Islam, all of that is what the Bible is talking about. You know what I'm saying? You creating confusion. Let's move. I'm gonna move on to the next verse. No sweat. Let's get going back to Timothy, chapter 3. 2 Timothy chapter 3. 2 Timothy chapter 3, which is another heavy verse, of course, that a lot of brothers need to read and wake up and understand, man. This work is not a game, man. It's not. We don't do this for fun. All right. 2 Timothy 3, verse 6. For of this sort are they which creep into houses and led captive silly women laden with sins, led away with divers lust. You understand? So I mean, Israel could be considered the woman, because the Most High said He looked at us as a bride or a wife. You understand? And when a wife go off and do things, that's why when it talks about fornication, well, how can Israel fornicate? We fornicate with the other gods of the other nations, the other customs. You get my point? You understand? Instead of enduring with sound doctrine, we decide to do with the hell we want to do. You understand? And guess what? It's against the Lord, man. It's so wicked. And because we do this thing, and we've been doing this thing since Egypt, like the scripture said, there's nothing new under the sun, we suffer from the plagues, man, that the Most High sent down to wicked men and wicked men. You understand? You don't want to have to face that punishment that's sent from the Most High. Alright? Verse 4, traitors, heady, high-minded, lovers of pleasures, who are more than lovers of the Most High. Once again, that's that intense lust, lovers of pleasure. You understand how to feed your flesh instead of being spiritual by it. Let me see if this brother's alright. You understand? If the Lord willing, do I have enough money if the brother and another zone might need some bread? That's how brothers in the UPK think, man. We're not concerned about our lust. We're taught in here to deny our flesh, to deny what our flesh wants, and start looking at another brother, man. Be in the spiritual mindset. And if you're not in that mindset, it's gonna be impossible to build this nation. You understand? That's why you see a lot of these other guys falling. You know what I mean? Look them up on the internet. They got a lot of controversy going on. Why? Because they're following doctrines of men instead of following the man that follow Christ. You understand? You know for sure, Yahweh Shah, we follow Salaki. We start that order over. We follow the Most High. We follow Yahweh Shah. We follow Commander Junior Hana. You understand? We follow that order right there. And because of it, you see the works of the UPK, man. You understand? Without these instructions of the Bible, you understand, without discipline, you cannot walk this life. This is going to be impossible. Why? Because the Most High is not going to be with you. Alright? You're going to end up being lovers of pleasure more than lovers of the Most High. And to be a lover of the Most High, you got to be spiritual, not carnal. You understand? Captain Bonds did a powerful class on that. You understand? In Romans, when Paul was saying, "I do that which I don't do that thing no more." Paraphrasing, of course. Meaning, I'm not doing what I would do if I was feeding my flesh, but I'm doing this thing right here. I don't do that which I would do, but I do this. That's how you got to be spiritual, man. And when you wake up every morning, you understand the first thing you have to do is go to war with who? Yourself, spiritually. You got to go to war with yourself, because this demon's going to always be up here in your heart. Get my point? We're moving to Proverbs 28 and 26. No sweat. Proverbs 28 and 26. I'm at the speed kind of. Yeah, you know what? I'm not going to have time to get through all these scriptures. I'm going to do the best I can, though. Proverbs 28 and 26. Proverbs 28 and 26. He that trusteth in his own heart, meaning you trust the things in your mind instead of trusting what the Most High told you to do. Let's see what the Most High said. He that trusteth in his own heart is a fool. You see that? But whoso walketh wisely, he shall be delivered. Verse 27. He that giveth unto the poor shall not lack, but he that hideth his eyes shall have many curses. We don't hide our eyes, man, when we see our brothers suffering in this hell, man. You understand? You see a black man laying in the streets, man, help that brother, man. Help him up. It's a dishonorable thing to see a prince of the Most High. You understand? A prince of God laying in the streets, sitting on the curb, man. You understand? That's a dishonorable thing for a prince of the Most High to do, man. A prince of the power. Yasha Allah in the Hebrew. All right? Alright, now we're going to get on this wicked spirit. You know what I mean? You know, I believe, if you don't believe in this, if you don't believe that it's false prophets after the plethora of scriptures that I just gave you, you need to call the ISUPK immediately and get counsel. All right? You're in a Christian church. Call the school, man. ISUPK.com is the website. All right? Call the school, man. Get counsel. And guess what? The counseling is free. Why? Because we love black people. This is not for show. It's not for us. We're not boasting ourselves up. We are truly men of the Lord that care about black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian people. And this is the only way you're gonna get fixed. All right. So let's get 2 Timothy 3:1 real quick. All right, 2 Timothy 3:1. This know also, that in the last day perilous times shall come. What are the perilous times? The rampant homosexuality that's in the black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian community. You understand? Go to Atlanta. You understand? The captain went down there a few months back, and he came back. He said it was so out cold, and he said it could have been a demon on him, but he was hesitant to even acknowledge brothers down there. That's how bad it was. You understand? You think you're looking at a woman, but in reality, it's a man. Come on, man, and vice versa. You think you're talking to a brother, it's a woman. That's confusing. That right there is the wickedness, man, of Babylon, right? That's why in the Revelation, the 18th chapter, it told us, man, don't follow. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, we're gonna read that scripture in a minute, real quick, after I get done with this one. But in the latter days, being in the last days, you're gonna see these things, man, and you see them. You see what I'm saying? You see them. Matter of fact, let me read this article real quick. I got 2 articles I want to bring out. No sweat. Lucky. We're going to bring out 2 articles and finish these couple scriptures up. We're going to end this class. Most High in Christ. Alright, here we go. This is article number 1 right here. The title is The Breakfast Club Addresses Trans Issues with Malik Yoba plus LGBTQ activists. So this community has activists to try to push and justify justify that it's right to do whatever wickedness and disgusting thing that they're partaking in, man. Alright? They did an interview on the Breakfast Club earlier, I guess, today. Right? And it says Malik Yoba, which was a star of New York Undercover, he stopped by the Breakfast Club in Salaki. This article was posted by Joseph Cabela. You understand? Salaki. Malik Yoba stopped by the Breakfast Club following his Instagram post awakening by the suicide Resi Willick Boy about his open attraction to trans women. So open attraction to a woman, a so-called woman, that's been trans from a man to a woman. You understand? This is what the Breakfast Club is pushing. They said they want to become more educated on this. You know what they need to be more educated on? The law, statutes, and commandments in the Bible. You know you should be interviewing the leader of the nation of Israel, Commander Junior Hanna. Now let me keep this professional though. I gotta keep it professional because they're gonna shut our page down if I just go camp mode on them real quick. It's locking. Join the Malik were LGBTQ activists, Mr. David Johns. They just had a panel of people. David Johns made a valuable point in saying Malik did not come out, but he stepped up. Now, the Breakfast Club is a prominent platform for Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian. And here it is, your oppressor is pushing LGBT, whatever, however you say it. They're pushing this. Why? Because it's a learned behavior. He wants you to be a homo, you know, he wants you to be an LGBTQ or whatever. You know what I mean? He wants you to sin against your power, which is directly against the Bible. You know we got the scriptures to back it up. You understand that? This is a main, I can't believe they let this on the main. Well, I can't believe it. You know why? Because this is spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah. I can't believe it. It's locked. Malik stepped up and above the status quo to be open about a serious topic and the conversation people of all communities are afraid to have. Oh my goodness. Malik said that he knew he felt liberated and ready to step up when he attended the World Pride Festival in June with Carmen Carrera, which is another trans woman. You understand? During the Salakia float to the front next to Carmen amongst thousands on Fifth Avenue in New York City. He proudly, in that moment, he said, in that moment, I felt pride. You understand? That's the spirit on America, man. You understand? To have pride in sinning against our power, man. You understand? He want Black, Hispanic, and Native American Indian to follow a man that you used to look up to in New York undercover. You get my point? And this is why, and I guarantee you, Malik Yoba, whatever his name is, guess what? Guess what he got raised up in? The Christian church. You understand? This is the fruit of the Christian church. You understand? A grown man coming out saying, I felt pride. I felt liberated to let the world know. You understand that I like men, which is disgusting. Right? So we're gonna get Revelation 18:1. Off that, I can't read the whole article. You know what I mean? But I got a few other scriptures I want to bring out. So we're going to start Revelations 18:1 to show you the spirit that this brother is trying to put on Black, Hispanic, and Native American men and women. That's going to keep you further destroyed. All right? Revelations 18:1. It's against the Most High's law for a man to be attracted or have sex with another man. It's against the Lord's law for woman to be on woman. You understand? But why do we think that's okay in 2019? Because Barack Obama told you it was okay. He taught you that it was okay. Now, 9 years later, you got men freely coming out saying on a major platform that every child and parent listen to on the radio before they go to school. This what our kids got to listen to, man. So if you're not in the truth, man, you better get in this truth. Otherwise, man, you are in danger of this, right? This garbage right here. That the article I just read, all right? Revelations 18, chapter 18, verse 1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power. You understand? This angel had great power, right? And the earth was lightened with his glory. So the so-called oppressor, he has power. And the earth is enlightened by the power that the oppressor has, right? And he cried mighty with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen. It's fallen and has become the habitation of devils. The habitation of men that tell you lies, that teach you that, you understand, liking another man is all right. You see what I'm saying? Come as you are. Teaching you all these lies that at the end result, you're going to be like Malik Yoba talking about some, you free. You understand? I felt pride now that I ride through this parade of people that's clearly against the Most High Christ, man. Clearly against the spirit that's in this book. Why? Because you follow the doctrine of devils. You understand? Habitation of devils, man. The word devil means liar and deceiver, and to believe that this is okay, that's somebody that deceives you to think that. You understand? A man is not supposed to ever have that spirit in him. You understand? A feminine spirit shall not inherit the kingdom of heaven. All right. And the hold of every foul spirit, it's a foul spirit to believe whatever this so-called community on this panel believe. That's a foul spirit, man. You understand? And the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. Verse 3. For all nations have drunk the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Meaning you seen the other nations doing it, so you in your mind, because America is so great, which is Babylon again, because it's so great, in your mind you say, well, hell, they doing it. They own Breakfast Club, saying it's okay to breath. Charlemagne said, man, we need to be more educated on this. Man, good night, man. We in the end. This is proof right here. And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. That's what the nation of Israel is heavy up under right now, man. We've fallen victim to the doctrines of devils. You understand? The fornications from following the other nations. You know what I mean? And because of that, your child, because your child is not an ISUBK, he's at high risk to become transgender, man. How do I know that? Because they training them right now. It's in the schools, in elementary schools. If you go in there and you're a parent and you learn this doctrine from the devil that you've been deceived by, you go in there and tell the school, you know what? Though this is my daughter, she really a boy, meaning she can go in that bathroom right there, and you can't do a damn thing about it. So because of that, if kids see that, by the time they get into high school, do you see what the oppressor is doing, man? How powerful and wicked this kingdom is? You gotta come on, Christians. It's time to stop singing and dancing. It's time to stop playing in the Christian church. It's time to hand over the keys, man, and get in this one body of Christ. You see what your oppressor is doing. You understand? This is a wicked place right here, man. All right. We're gonna read verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sin. Right? So the doctrine of devils, you understand, that deceives you, is causing you to break the Lord's laws. And then we wonder why we're so destroyed, because we've been programmed to operate against the Most High. Alright? We're gonna get Isaiah 3 and 9. We're gonna go to another story, bring out a couple more scriptures. We're gonna go ahead and end class. Isaiah 3 and 9. You understand? Which goes perfect with the article I just brought out. Because to say that you felt liberated and you felt prideful, it's in the Bible, it's in the scripture. We're about to prove it to you right here. You don't care about what the Most High said. You feel prideful about feeding your intense lust, feeding your flesh. But if you was taught to be a spiritual man, you would have, you know what you would be prideful for? Standing up for the Most High Christ. Standing up for the lost 12 lost tribes of Israel. You understand? Standing up for the people that have been beaten down, trodden down, you understand, for 400 years. You feel prideful for that. Instead of feeling prideful for what your oppressor set up for you. You understand? And then to trick you into believing something else. Deceive the whole earth. You get my point? So let's get, we at Isaiah, the 3rd chapter, verse 9. The shoe of their countenance doth witness against them. You see what I'm saying? So if your homosexual tendencies is a witness against you, especially when you prideful about it, man. You get my point? And they declared their sin at Sodom. I'm prideful. I felt liberated when I did it. Came out. You understand? You declaring that you have a sexual deviance. That's what the Bible is saying right here. You get my point? They hide it not. Meaning you coming out and let the world know you're not hiding it. You prideful about this thing right here. Why? Because your oppressor didn't trick you into believing that it's okay. We need education about this whole thing. You get my point? And the Most High is not with this, man. It's not my words. It's the words of the Most High. So if you have a problem with it, you just wicked, and you really just want to continue to feed your intense desire and feeding your lust. You know what I'm saying? That's all. It's an intense desire to feed your personal. That's what lust is, man. All right. We're in the middle of verse 9. They declared their sin at Sodom, meaning I'm coming out. I'm letting everybody know that my sin. You understand? It's a breaking of the law to be a homosexual. That's against the Lord's laws. We're going to prove it in the next scripture. They hide it now. Woe unto their soul. Meaning your soul, your spirit will be destroyed by the Most High. You're going to defile the Lord's temple. You understand? By being attracted to a woman, a man dressed up like a woman. Come on, man. It's ridiculous. You can thank Barack Obama for that. He played a major part in this garbage. Right? Woe unto their soul, for they have rewarded evil unto themselves. You know what your reward is as a man that want to live with another man? AIDS. You understand? All type of sexually transmitted destruction is coming, and the Lord gonna make sure that you get it. You get my point? We're gonna get I gotta jump through these now. Let's get Leviticus 20 and 13 real quick. That's a bedrock scripture that if you got any knowledge of this Bible, you understand. If you've been in the school, you know this is a camp scripture that we love to pull out. You understand? But it's the absolute truth. You know what I'm saying? If you call yourself being attracted to another man and want to do sexual deviance with that man, and she got a wig, the man or whatever got a wig on, and you know it's a man, that's a sexual deviance, man. It's a sin. The Lord said, "Be fruitful and multiply." How in the hell can we be a fruitful nation, and we doing this garbage right here? Why? Because the Christian church, your leaders, was too weak to tell you the truth. These men in the Israelite school of UPK, we're not too weak to tell the truth, man. You understand that? Leviticus 20 and 13. If a man also lie with mankind, what does it mean to lie? It means to lie down like you lie to have sex. You understand? If I lie down with my rib, if you lie down with a woman, specifically your rib, right? Sex is marriage. So if you laying down with that woman, obviously, you understand, you're going to have sex with that woman. But if a man lie down with her like that, right? As he lied with the woman, both of them have committed an abomination. What is an abomination? Something that's disgusting to the Lord. Something that the Lord hates. The Lord hates this stuff that's trying to be pushed on a major platform. He hates that interview that went on the Breakfast Club today, man. That was disgusting. I ain't watch all of it. I watched a little bit of it and turned it off. Because guess what? I already got the UPK official stance on it. You understand? You never look up to entertainers that's under the so-called oppressor. Because you're going to find yourself following this garbage if you start to worship and idolize these men that is off. Right? They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon me, upon them. Salakia. What is the blood upon them? They shall surely be put to death. AIDS is a blood-borne disease that's going to surely put your black behind to death because you're so prideful. You understand? Let's get Deuteronomy 22 and 5. We're gonna read that real quick, and then go right with the article. No sweat. Deuteronomy 22 and 5. It says, "The woman," we had Deuteronomy 22 verse 5. "The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man." So all that trans and all whatever they're trying to push, this is a commandment. This is an order right here, put down in the Bible. "The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment." The wig, you understand? Martin Lawrence, Eddie Murphy, who are all of them, man? Jamie Foxx, then dressed up. These men that you look up to, you think is funny, it's not funny to the Most High, man. That is a direct abomination and offense to the God of Israel. You understand? That's not funny to me. And that's another witchcraft and play that the so-called president put on you. He's making your prominent entertainers dress up as women. So when you see it from a little child, when you get grown, oh, there's nothing wrong. Ha ha, it's funny. It's not funny, man. Why? Because it's against the Most High. It's against the law of the Lord. And when you break the law of the Lord, you're going to get punished. Not the other nations, but you, Israel. 12 lost child to Israel, all right? "Neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are an abomination." So you sitting there laughing at Tyler Perry, but the Lord hates that thing, man. You can laugh all you. It's not funny to us in the Israelite school of UPK. And because you grew up and thought something like that was funny, You know what I'm saying? You're gonna find yourself being attracted to a man that put on a woman's garment, man. You can thank the Christian church. You understand? I'm gonna bring out this one article, and we're gonna get 2 more scriptures after this article, and we're gonna wrap it up. No sweat. One more article. All right, name of this article is let me see who did this article. Okay, Scott. Name of this article is Obama, Supreme Court same-sex marriage ruling a victory for America. You understand? So to go against the Lord's law, according to this article, was a victory for this wicked kingdom, man. You understand? They said it's a victory to sin against the Most High. Why do they say that? Because the Bible don't have nothing to do with them. It's not their book. That's why they feel like it's a victory. And on top of that, they know it's going to get you to be more destroyed. To get you to be more, you understand, more destroyed under their doctrine. You understand? That was created by men. You get my point? Alright. This article was by Scott Newman. President Obama called the Supreme Court's decision affirming the constitutional right of same-sex couples to marry a victory for America that had made our union a little more perfect. You hear that? Come on, man. That's ridiculous. In the 5-4 decision, Justice Kennedy wrote the opinion of the court saying the Equal Protection Clause of the 14th Amendment to the Constitution requires states to issue marriage licenses to the same-sex couples, which we just brought out in the scripture. It's against the Most High to do this thing. So you got to understand, America, Babylon again, this is a wicked kingdom. That's why the scriptures say, take your spirit out of this place, man. You understand? Come out of her, my people. You understand? My people is a possessive word, right? Our nation was founded on bedrock principle that we are all created equal, which is a lie. The president said the White House Rose Garden following the announcement of the decision. Obama said that often progress on the journey to equality comes in small increments. Sometimes 2 steps forward, 1 step back. That don't even make sense right there. Come on, that lets you know it's off. If I'm making progression and I got to take 1 step back, that's off. All right. And then sometimes there are days like this when the slow, steady effort is rewarded with justice that arrives like a thunderbolt. The president said. You know what the justice of the thunderbolt is going to be? When this place be judged by the Most High. Just like he judged Sodom and Gomorrah with fire. You understand? Sodom and Gomorrah was promoting the same disgusting garbage. And what did the Most High do to it? Burnt it down. Alright? That's just how you know we in the end, Akim, Aqua, sisters and brothers, you understand, out there listening. You got to look at what you've been living in, man. It's a wicked society. That's why you hate each other, because you're not following the Most High Christ. When all Americans are treated as equal, we are more free. He added, acknowledging that Americans of good will continue to hold a wide range of views on this issue. For all of our difference, we are one people, stronger together than we will ever be alone, man. Come on, man. This is who you signed in office. And when you put Obama in there, that's when you start getting taught or being let known. Because during that, before Obama, all that stuff was, a lot of brothers, well, a lot of people were in the closet about their homosexuality. Obama came out and said, you know what, it's right. We'd be more of a free nation. You understand? And now 2019, they're pushing trans whatever. You understand? Your kids listening to this on the way to school. Then after they listen to it on the radio, they got to go to school and see a little boy saying he's a little girl. Good night, man. This place is wicked. Very wicked. Okay. This is my last scripture. We're going to get Isaiah 13 and 19. We're going to close this class out, man. You know, I'm getting a little bit, man, it's crazy. You know, I think about, we all have kids. If you don't, I think about my son on these issues right here, man. Can you imagine the wickedness that our kids got to endure because we're in this wicked society, man? It's pushing this garbage. And if it wasn't for the truth, if your kid's not in the truth, they are at high risk, man. You know what I'm saying? This place is pushing this stuff heavily. All right? Let's get Isaiah 13:9. Isaiah 13:9. 1 second. Yeah, Isaiah 13:9. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel both with wrath and fierce anger, to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners thereof out of it. Verse 10, for the stars of heaven and the constellations thereof shall not give their light. The sun shall be darkened in his going forth, and the moon shall not cause her light to shine. That's pretty. It's a lot. I'm at the wrong scripture. It's a lot. Hold on. It's supposed to be at 19, but it's going right what we're about to bring out. And Babylon, we have verse 19. In Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of Chaldeans, the excellency. Like people say, America is just so glorious and so beautiful, right? Strongest country in the earth and all that. You know what I'm saying? This is a future prophecy, man. It's going to happen. Shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. Verse 20, it shall never be inhabited, neither shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Neither shall the Arabian pitch the tent there, neither shall the shepherds make their fold there. Meaning, this place is going to have the same judgment as Sodom and Gomorrah, being destroyed with fire, man. You understand? If you're in that Christian church, if you're on the fence about coming into the Israelite school, the UPK, you need to get in here ASAP, man, because you see what America is pushing on the 12 lost tribes of the nation of Israel, man. You understand? You don't want to get caught up in this garbage before it's too late. You understand? Before them chariots touch down back down on this place, and it be destroyed, this place be destroyed with fire. It's going to happen. I just showed you in the scriptures. You understand? With that, we're going to end this class. Shalom, Israel. Rocking out Officer Shawat Law class. See y'all next week.